Good evening and welcome, friends. The fact that you're watching News Sunday shows how seriously you take what's happening around you and the country. So let's try to make it an engaging 1 hour of conversation. As the collective conscience of the nation convulses at the gruesome rape and murder of the young doctor at the Kolkata's RJ Kar Hospital, as protests continue unabated, not just in Kolkata but around the country, we are witnessing convergence of a different kind in the Bengal establishment. In the most shameful clampdown of dissent, the Kolkata police has been on a summoning spree last 24 hours, not even sparing TMC leaders. Party's Rajya Sabha MP Sukhendu Shekhar Roy was asked to come and answer some questions today after he sought custodial interrogation of Kolkata Police Commissioner Vinit Goyal by the CBI. Earlier in the day, we saw some never-before pictures coming from Kolkata. Supporters of Mohan Bagan and East Bengal football clubs, known for their legendary rivalries, came together to take on the police, demanding justice for Abhaya. As days pass, it's becoming clear that Mamata Banerjee is losing a connect with the ground. Mohan Bagan and East Bengal are not dormitories of the RG Kar Hospital. The supporters are not doctors driven by self-interest. Today, they became the angry voice of a nation demanding to know what is Mamata government hiding. That's our debate number 1 tonight. What's there to hide, Mamata Didi? An angry nation wants to know. Also on the show tonight, a lobby has sought to deny a Ram temple float in the India Day parade that is slated to take place in New York tonight, which is Sunday morning New York time. Is it the same anti-India lobby that is dovetailing into an anti-Hindu force, and vice versa? That's going to be our debate number 2. Let me get you the headlines of the day first.
Presenting by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Padho, kuch bano.
Clamor for justice grows as doctors and students come out on the streets demanding justice for Abhaya for the 9th day, but Mamata's cops lathi charge on them. Supreme Court takes up doctor's rape murder case suo moto to hear the matter on Tuesday at 10:30 a.m.
रास्ते में नाम उतार के जस्टिस मांगता है, फिर जो जनरल पब्लिक है उसमें जब जस्टिस मांगता है उसको बंद करने के लिए कोशिश कर रहे हैं। क्या इसके सब क्या बात है? हम लोग तो इसके लिए बहुत दुख आ गया।
Aggrieved father of Abhaya speaks out, alleges that the full department is behind the barbaric crime.
अपना निजी काम है, दिल्ली आना जाना होते रहता है। आज भी हम आए हैं, अभी हम जहाँ पर है वहीं पर है।
Champai Soren, along with many of his MLAs in Delhi, amid BJP switch bus, speculation grows as he says that he has kept all his options open. Fresh spat breaks out between spokespersons of the Dalai Lama and the Chinese embassy in New Delhi, spar over reincarnation. And Karnataka Congress announces statewide protest as Governor grants sanction to prosecute Siddaramaiah, the Chief Minister, in the Muda scam.
Presenting by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Padho, kuch bano.
All right, the Kolkata rape murder case has sent shockwaves across the nation, and the demand for justice grows louder each day. From the CBI probe to the latest TMC, whatever has happened over the last 24 hours, here's a report. Then I come back with a panel of guests.
Abhaya still awaits justice. They say justice delayed is equivalent to justice denied. The reason we say this is because over the course of 9 days, a lot has happened at the crime scene. First, it was demolished. Then, a mob of over 1,000 people ransacked the Arjikar hospital. All of these incidents point at one thing: evidence tampering. Abhaya's father has also slammed Chief Minister Mamata, alleging a bid to hush up the case by destroying evidence.
एकदम हम लोग का डिपार्टमेंट का कोई नहीं और कॉलेज का कोई हमारा साथ कोऑपरेट नहीं किया। जो क्रिमिनेशन घाट का बारे में बोलता है, श्मशान घाट के बारे में, उधर 3 बॉडी पड़ा हुआ था, लेकिन उसका पहले ही हमारा लड़की का बॉडी जला दिया गया। सीएम अपने रास्ते में नाम उतार के जस्टिस मांगता है, फिर जो जनरल पब्लिक है उसमें जब जस्टिस मांगता है उसको बंद करने के लिए कोशिश कर रहे हैं। क्या ये सब क्या बात है? हम लोग तो इसके लिए बहुत दुख आ गया।
On the other hand, the CBI conducted a psychological test on the accused in the Kolkata rape and murder case. The tests come after various allegations of domestic violence against the accused. In the midst of the probe, a TMC versus TMC war has broken out. After Shantanu Sen, another Neta from Mamata's fold is facing the heat now. The Kolkata police has summoned TMC MP Sukhendu Shekhar Roy for allegedly spreading misinformation. Roy had claimed that a dog squad was sent to the crime scene 3 days after the body of the victim was found on August 9th. Roy was summoned days after BJP's Locket Chatterjee and 2 other doctors, Kunal Sarkar and Subarno Goswami. They also received notices over misinformation. What has possessed the Mamata government to be abdicating all sense of responsibility and indulge in this shameful conduct of brazen manipulation?
All right, welcome back. Joining me on this conversation, Tuhin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP. He is joining us live from Mumbai. We also have Dr. P.K. Sethi. He is a leading neurologist and a Padma Shri awardee. He is speaking for the victim. And on the other side, but I hope they would also speak for the victim, even if they are going to give their own political positions. Tausif Ahmed Khan, political analyst, leans towards the Trinamool, live from Kolkata, as also Anirban Banerjee, political analyst, live from Kolkata. Tuhin, bear with me. I'll have to begin with the 2 representatives giving us the view of the Bengal establishment, both Tausif and Anirban. To Tausif first. Tausif, you know, earlier in the day, we had the father of the victim coming out and making a very detailed statement on how the family, the victim family, sees what has happened and what has been done to them. They have refused taking compensation, and they clearly said they don't trust the government, they don't trust the establishment. It is clear that the manner in which the Mamata government has handled this whole case reeks of arrogance, reeks of a conduct which is not inspiring trust even in the victim family. Tausif.
You see, this is a very unfortunate incident, the heinous crime. Then obviously we all stand with the victim and the family of the victims and with the protesters. Mamata Banerjee has time and again said that the anger is justified, that the protests are justified, but at the same time, the Kolkata police and the administration has a responsibility to see that no untoward incident takes place, that the hospitals start running again. But all that is fine. We also have to take into account the fact that not more than 3 days ago, the counsel who is appearing for the family, the petition that was filed in the High Court, the counsel had said that the semen was found 150 gram, and then there was also claim of fractures. So all those have turned out to be not true. So there's also rumors going around, and we must refrain from rumor mongering. We must rise above politics.
You said all
And
that
there
is
should
fine.
be
Sorry
no
to be
attempt.
interjecting. You that all that is fine. What do you mean by all that is fine, Tausif?
All that is fine. I mean that all that is on record. Whatever Mamata Banerjee has said, that Mamata Banerjee stands with the protesters, and the anger of the doctors and protesters are fine. But there is also a responsibility on the administration that the blockade, the strike in the hospitals must, the work in the hospital must resume. 2 deaths, at least 3 days ago, it was reported that 2 deaths have occurred due to the strike.
If the work is not resuming, are you going to vandalize it? That's what seems to be happening. And many of those arrested happen to be TMC cadres. And Anirban, while Tausif suggests that these protests are fine, the conduct of the Kolkata police and the government is not one which says that all that is fine. They are seen to be wanting that these protests stop. They are pursuing those people who are protesting, including the doctors who were transferred en masse, and of course the decision taken back after a national outcry. Anirban, it is clear that the government is jittery, the government does not know what to do, and the government clearly has bungled up.
Let's for a moment consider that the government does not know what to do, but does the CBI know what to do? It's almost 5 days now that the CBI was handed over the case, the entire details and the documents. 4 days for the Kolkata police was more than enough. You take the case away from the Kolkata police and give it to the CBI. Now 5 days have passed. How many questions regarding the investigation has the CBI answered? The people criticized, and maybe rightly so, that the Kolkata police in some cases were not in a position to answer some very legitimate questions. Fine. Okay with that, completely okay with that. But
how can you be okay with that?
Questioning the CBI now.
How can you be okay with that, Anirban? Please tell me. Before I ask your questions to the BJP representative, how can you be okay with those difficult questions Kolkata police failing to answer?
For the sake of the debate. No, sir, for sake of the debate, I am saying that let's say that the Kolkata police did not do very well. Okay, fine. Now it's transferred to the CBI. 5 days have passed. Why are you not questioning the CBI? How many questions have they answered? Who was the prime suspect if not Sanjay Rai? What about the principal and this and that? So many theories and so many Sherlock Holmes like hypotheses floating around in the internet, even in the mainstream media channels. You people did not refrain from spreading fake news as well. The point that Tausif referred to, 150 grams of semen, it was actually telecast on many of the mainstream electronic media channels without verifying a single iota of this point, that whether even this is possible or not. They simply went around spreading these rumors and lies which were initiated by some quarters who work for their own vested interest. There will always be quarters who want to topple the government, will always want to create unrest. That is one thing of part of the politics. But when it comes to the news channels, they simply did not verify that whether the post-mortem report even said these things or not, but they simply quoted the post-mortem report and gave around nothing but lies, complete falsehoods. So this is the way you are supposed to get justice for the victim. So if the government you are saying is at fault, what is the opposition parties doing, and you are questioning why the Kolkata police is issuing notices? The Kolkata police should absolutely issue notices to even to those media channels who so carelessly and recklessly forgot about their own responsibility of giving news to the people and not misinformation.
Anirban, the Kolkata police commissioner, he has admitted that people have lost faith or trust in Kolkata police. He has admitted that there was an assessment failure on the third day when the vandalism happened, as it comes out now, by many TMC cadres. You are sort of diverting the debate. Tausif says all that is fine. You say for the sake of argument or for the sake of debate. But I think it's really insensitive on the part of TMC supporters and TMC voices to be using these kind of words, Tausif and Anirban, on a matter which has the nation's conscience crying, But let me ask Tuhin, are you unnecessarily politicizing or ruthlessly politicizing an issue which should be left to the investigators to go to the bottom of? Are you, as Anirban asked, 4 days were not enough for Kolkata police. It's been 5 days for the CBI, but we are still not closer to any of those difficult questions, answers to those difficult questions that we want to know.
Well, good evening. Good evening, Abhishek ji. Good evening, everybody. With the reckless and rogue behavior that the Bengal government has shown in the last 1 week, it has become untenable for Mamata Banerjee to continue as CM even for a single day. And if she has an iota of shame left in her, she must quit immediately. Now, you know, they can take pride in Kolkata police sending notices to X, Y, and Z. But I am asking them upfront today, will you also send a notice to the parents of Abhaya, who have very clearly pointed out the lapses since the time that the news of her death, and not even a death, first, you know, it was supposed to be an injury, then it was supposed to be a suicide, then finally when they reached the hospital, they discovered that she has been brutally killed. So are you also going to serve notices to the parents of Abhaya? That's point number one. Now, before they question CBI, it needs to be noted that never has a state government in India's history so brazenly stood by rapists and criminals and tried to, you know, defend the real culprits. Have you ever come across a case where, with a deliberate intent to, you know, to tamper with evidence, a mob of 100 people is sent hastily on the night between 14th and 15th of August? You know, and 1 week
Abhishek,
after the crime had occurred, can you
names.
imagine that the hospital was not even sealed until then? Can you imagine that the construction work was going on in the same premises for days after the crime had taken place? So these are deliberate, these are deliberate.
No, it's not, Anirban, it is not Tuhin's job to find out who the real culprits are. You know, in any case, Kolkata police obviously can send a notice to Tuhin also.
No, you know, I think TMC should have some shame. You know, if you are representing the TMC today, have some shame. You know, put your heads down, show some apology, show some sensitivity. You don't even have the right to talk in this manner. The entire country today, protests are taking place across the country, across the world, because of the way you have insulted India. You have insulted, and everybody, mind you, every woman in Bengal today feels unsafe because of this behavior. Finally, let's come down to how Mamata Banerjee operates.
You are living in La La Land, if you think
just
so.
10 more seconds.
No, nobody is living in La La Land. Anirban, I have to check you for the kind of words you're using. But Tuhin, hold on. Anirban, you know, Tosif. Keep rhetoric aside for a while. No,
they should maintain some shame on your channel.
Tuhin, keep rhetoric aside for a while. Some difficult questions, but then...
You people have been spreading fake news willfully, with complete intent to confuse the people.
Anirban.
Your spokespeople for persons.
Anirban, it's not, Anirban, you can't prove, Anirban, there was some manipulation, Anirban, there was some manipulation of words. There was, the post-mortem report said that 150 ml fluids were found in the private parts of the doctor.
The post-mortem report from?
We did not say what you are saying.
Domain. From where did you get it?
Republic did not say what you are saying, Anirban. But I am saying
was found. I have heard autopsy experts who conduct autopsy 24/7. I have heard them repeatedly assert that the magnitude of injury was such that it is practically impossible for the injuries to be inflicted by one person. Then why was the Kolkata police and Kolkata the Bengal government insisted that they have caught hold of the culprit? Why was she pleading? Why was the CM pleading that give me 5 more days before CBI checks it? We got to know of it on the 14th night.
Tuhin, we have, hold on. Anirban, hold on. Tuhin, we in fact have an expert, we in fact have someone who comes from the medical fraternity. We have someone who comes from the medical fraternity, though he is a neurologist, but he is someone... Tosif, please. Dr. Sethi, you know, it's really shameful that we are getting into this kind of nitty-gritty, how much fluid was there, the fact of rape is not denied, Dr. Sethi. The fact of murder is not denied, Dr. Sethi. The fact of brutality with which the murder was committed is not denied by the post-mortem report and by whatever circumstantial evidence we have. I think it would be really shameful, and Tausif and Anirban are not doing that, to be fair, of in any manner condoning the scale of the crime and tragedy. Dr. Sethi, what message are we sending to the youth of the country? What message are we sending? What message are we sending to the nation's conscience when we not discuss the gaps that have remained, when we not discuss the insensitivities of the state in dealing with this crisis, rather than, you know, these nitty-gritties and these, you know, deflecting, diverting conversations that we are having about how many bones were broken, how much fluid was there in the vagina. I think this is really unfair to the victim's soul and to the cause of justice. Dr. Sethi.
Tell that to the BJP.
Let me say, as a doctor, as a medical fraternity, we are really shocked. It shook us really in every corner of India and even abroad. We doctors are made very differently. She was part of our family. Doctors are so attached when they are working in the hospital. It's a big unit. We work as a team. So when morning I read that she worked very hard in COVID, she wanted to be a respiratory specialist. She was the only child of her parents. I thought I lost somebody of my own. It is becoming very difficult for the doctors to go through these things.
Yes.
The crime, this is big, very heinous crime. The crime against doctors are really increasing. Part of it may be because people's expectation from doctors becoming very, very big. So in a way, it is an eye-opener that why we should wake up and find security for our doctors. We should look after. There was one word where she said, this hospital, KG hospital, was her second home. She was so attached and working in that hospital. I felt very, very touched, as if I am losing my own daughter.
Yes, absolutely, and that's a sentiment, Dr. Sethi, which every one of us shares, that she was one among us, she was our daughter, she was our sister, and she was targeted perhaps because she knew something. You know, the brutality with which she was treated in that crime. I think, Dr. Sethi...
I feel, I have been in Kolkata, posted there as the army officer for 5 years. I saw the culture of Kolkata. I have never seen such a nice culture. Even if somebody is even tram those days, somebody's person some man's unintentionally touched a lady or girl. He'll touch her feet.
Dr. Sethi, you know, your sentiments are shared by each one of us.
Any city.
Dr. Sethi, your sentiments are shared by each one of us, and that's why this outpouring of anger and frustration at the manner in which things have been handled. But Tausif, you see, it's clear. It's clear that the brutality with which
my request is that the justice should be done to her.
Not only justice should be done, Dr. Sethi, justice should be seen to be done, and that's why we are asking these questions, Dr. Sethi. Let me take this to Tausif. Tausif, you know, there is a reason why this brutality was committed on her. Tausif, you know, perhaps she knew something. Perhaps she was privy to what was going on in the RG Kar hospital. She had to be silenced and made an example of Tausif. And that's why this has happened. Tausif, you might admit, you might not admit. You might have to defend your party and the ideology, but there is crime.
I'm telling you, this is a matter.
Tausif, Dr. Sethi, let Tausif speak.
But my question is...
Can I speak? See, this is a matter where I am least bothered about defending anybody, about defending Trinamool, about defending Kolkata police. This is a matter altogether much above politics. It is a matter of society, what is happening in the society. Such a heinous crime is committed and we all stand for justice at a personal level, at a professional level, at whatever level. But what is justice? Please understand this. What is justice? Is it justice to defame Kolkata police?
I will tell you what is justice.
Give the case to CBI and play politics over it. Is that justice?
I will tell you what is justice, Tausif.
You give one standard. No, you measure Kolkata police with one standard and then measure CBI with a different standard.
No, nobody is doing that. Nobody is doing that. Tausif, listen.
Please.
Tausif, listen. No, you have to be corrected. You see, the transfer of the case. The transfer of the case.
You don't ask a single question over Uttarakhand. You don't ask a single question over Muzaffarpur.
No, we asked those questions. If you are talking about the Ankita Bhandari case, we asked tough questions. We made life miserable for the government till the government answered those questions. The case was also transferred. And remember, Tausif, in this case also, the transfer of the case to the CBI has happened by the Calcutta High Court. And after Mamata government agreed that let there be CBI investigation. So you shouldn't be defending that. Mamata government is absolutely on board in terms of CBI transfer. But you asked what is justice in this case. I'll tell you what is justice. I'll tell you before I go to Anirban, I'll tell you what is justice. You see.
Hang the culprit.
No.
Justice is to hang the culprit.
Listen to me.
Not to play politics over it.
I'm not playing politics, for God's sake. Listen to me, we are having a conversation. We are having a conversation, Tausif, no politics at all. I gave you benefit of doubt. I say you are, I'm not saying that you are being partisan, but I'm only expecting that you not be partisan at all. Now, because you asked, what is justice? I tell you what is justice. And it's so easy to see. Justice should not only be done, but seen to be done, as they say. You know, Tausif, so for example, Dr. Sandeep Ghosh, why couldn't the Mamata government not have transferred him and sacked him, at least to tell the protesters that she means business? The manner in which the entire RG Kar administration and hence the health department and hence the Mamata government had handled this whole thing in the first 72 hours, put paid to the manner in which the evidence should have been handled. This is justice. It was visible breach of the possibility of justice being delivered, and that is the reason why the parents of the victim even today are saying they don't trust the system.
The victim body was post-mortem conducted in front of family members. It was not burned in the night like they did in Hathras. No. Please be truthful of the work that Kolkata police has done. Yes, I agree that there are certain questions that Kolkata police was not able to answer, and BJP must find answer to that. The CBI must find answer to that.
BJP, why should BJP? Tohen, you think BJP has to find answer for that? BJP has to find answer for that? I mean, your government, I
mean to say CBI has to find answer to that.
No, you can't say the CBI does not mean BJP. CBI does not mean BJP. Tausif, maybe Tohen would want to respond.
That is the question. CBI is questioning Subir Ghosh. Why have they not arrested?
Okay, let Tohen respond before I go to Anirban. Let Tohen respond. I'm only left with 1 more minute. Let Tohen respond.
You know, Abhishek, I'm just appalled by the vehemence, by the defiance of the TMC. You know, it goes on, their behaviors, they just don't seem to realize the gravity of the lapses. Will they apologize on your show today for the RG Kar hospital administration trying to pass it off as a suicide in the first place? Will they apologize for the undue promotion? Instead of sacking that man, Sandeep Ghosh, will they apologize for the promotion that was awarded to him 3 days after? Please don't barge in like this. Have some shame today.
You are lying. You are lying.
Abhishek, can you calm them down? There are important points. They are deliberately behaving in this rogue fashion so that the country does not know of the extent of lapses that has gone in.
Tausif, let him complete. I gave you full chance. Tausif, he did not interrupt you. Let him complete. Tausif, he did not interrupt you. Let him complete. You get to defend, but let him complete. Okay, Tohen.
A chief minister's...
Tausif, no. This is obfuscation. This is filibuster. Tausif not allowed, please.
What sort of legacy has Mamata Banerjee created? People like Sandeep Ghosh, who have been charged with corruption of the worst kind in the past,
BJP
including that of smuggling of bio-waste products.
That nurse is a Muslim woman.
The
That is why a
ACP
mouth is shut.
the Commissioner of Police of Kolkata, who even in the Kamduni rape case had presided over similar tampering of evidence.
Will you
for which
question
he was
Uttarakhand
even
government?
called out by the
Will you
court.
question
What sort of
Uttarakhand
legacy
government?
is Mamata Banerjee trying
Will
to
you
leave through
question
these people?
Uttarakhand government
In fact,
for
Abhishek,
gang
even
rape of the
Sanjoy
nurse?
Roy.
No, Tausif, no, I can't allow this.
You will not question. You
I can't allow
will
this.
not
I can't allow this.
question.
Tausif, hold on. Tausif, hold on. Tausif, hold on. Tuhin, you also hold on. You see,
Government in Bihar, you will not question them. It's a BJP government in Unnao, you will not question them. Rape is happening everywhere.
अरे बाबा बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट को क्वेश्चन करने का क्या बात है इसमें?
Go on in this manner.
You are doing politics. Only you are targeting Bengal, not questioning BJP government.
No, Tausif, this can't be allowed. Very unfair. Tausif, this is exactly what I did not want in the debate. Tausif, this is exactly what I did not want in the debate. You see,
You do not want to question.
be decent, Tausif. I have extended all courtesy to you. Be decent. You see, it is not about BJP or Trinamool now.
It is.
It
Why
is
you
not.
Questioning?
It is not.
No, ask Tuhin.
I have asked Tuhin the question about CBI, but this is not about Tuhin. It is not about Tausif. It is about Abhaya. Tausif, it is about Abhaya. You have to stop. It is about Abhaya and the manner in which the parents of Abhaya have spoken today, and the manner in which the Mamata government has conducted itself, and the manner in which the supporters of Mohan Bagan and East Bengal have come together to hold a mirror to the Mamata government and the Kolkata police today is a clear message, Tausif and Anirban, that there is something amiss in the manner in which Mamata Didi has really handled this. There is a clear case of jitters. There seems to be some nerves, and the fact that it's becoming TMC versus TMC, for example, why is Abhishek Banerjee not as vocal as he should have been, given the youth leader that he is? We'll continue this coverage of this case. It is not for us about the BJP versus TMC, not at all about Tuhin versus Tausif. It is about a daughter, a sister of the nation, and we are not going to let go of this case, irrespective of who's investigating. If CBI, tough questions to CBI also. For example, why psychoanalysis and not DNA? Because psychoanalysis is not admissible as evidence. We'll come back to that. Thank you so much to all our panelists, Tuhin Sinha, Dr. Sethi, Anirban and Tausif for joining us. And moving on, friends, to the second conversation we are going to have tonight. A major controversy has broken out over the 42nd India Day parade in New York City, as several city society groups in the country have come out openly against the inclusion of a Ram Mandir float at the event. They call the Ram Temple float anti-Muslim, Islamophobic, or symbol of Islamophobia. Significantly, the row comes close on the heels of sculptor Arun Yogiraj, who had shaped the Ramlala idol at the Ayodhya temple, who was denied a visa to travel to the United States last week. Watch this report, and I come back for a conversation.
With the dust yet to settle on the row over the denial of a US visa to the maker of Ayodhya's Ramlala, Arun Yogiraj, another controversy has come to the fore. The 42nd India Day parade in New York City has run into a wave of protest and opposition from civil society groups over the use of a Ram Mandir float. Voices claiming to be representing the civil society in the US have come out against the float, calling it hate-filled, divisive and Islamophobic. They have even written to the State Department and the US Attorney General seeking a probe against the Indian Consulate and the Vishwa Hindu Parishad or the VHP over the use of Ram Mandir float. The move follows the controversy around the denial of a visa to the ace Indian sculptor to travel to the US for a felicitation event. While the US blocked Yogiraj's visa request, it offered little or no explanation for it. Yogiraj's family voiced dismay over the denial of visa, adding that they had made all arrangements to travel to the US on the invitation to attend the 12th Akka World Kannada Conference. The fresh controversy has brought to the fore a thriving anti-Hindu lobby in the US. As the Ram Mandir float runs into a firewall of opposition in the US, the big question is, Should the US still lecture the world on religious tolerance when its own track record is dubious at best?
All right, welcome back. Joining me in this conversation, Utsav Chakrabarti. He's joining us live from Washington, D.C. He's Executive Director of Hindu Action, and this is essentially an organization that speaks for the Hindu community in the United States. We also have Dr. Joseph Chalil. He's author and publisher of Universal News Network. He's joining us live from Florida in the United States. In a bit, I believe we already have Ratan Sharda. He's author and RSS ideologue. He's joining us live from Mumbai. And we have Vivek Srivastav, whose political analyst, leans towards the left, been a card-holding member, in fact, and joining us live from Delhi. And I would want to begin with Atikur Rahman, Islamic scholar, live from Mumbai. Atikur Rahman, a Ram temple float was or is to be part of the India Day parade, which is going to take place tonight India time and Sunday morning New York time. And there are these organizations, about half a dozen of them, which includes organizations like the Indo-American Muslim Council, which includes organizations like the Council of American Islamic Religion, and which includes organizations like the Muslims for Progressive Values, and there is Federation of Indian American Christians. All these have come together, Atikur Rahman, to call Ram Temple a symbol of Islamophobia, and hence it should not be part of the India Day parade. As an Islamic scholar, you think that Ram Temple is a symbol of Islamophobia, Atikur Rahman?
Abhishek, I would urge you to look into this particular aspect from the point of making religiosity, bigotry, unreasonable claims in a country where people do not understand. You see, Abhishek, we in India had accepted the Ram temple after all the initial and long years of hate and bigotry thrusted upon the masses of India only as a compromise formula, so that their political advantage which the BJP took out of it to come to power, that gets over, and we embark on a different path of different achievements in the global society. Now, making Ram temple again a part of bigotry in a Western country which do not understand. This was the thing, Abhishek. Mr. Modi pointed out that India was known to be the land of snake charmers. Do you want again the Western people to recognize you as the country of snake charmers? Why?
Atikur Rahman, you sidestepped my question. The question is straight. Whether you think that Ram temple is a symbol of Islamophobia or not. Straight question.
No, I will not answer you straight, because the points raised by these people, against the people who are organizing it, that because of this Ram temple, the minorities, mainly the Muslims, were attacked, they were killed, they were demonized, they were felt. The other thing was this democratic? Was this not against the Constitution of India? My simple proposition is, Abhishek, that why only a Ram temple there? Why not the Taj Mahal? If you want to have some kind of a celebration which is a part of Independence Day, why the Ram temple only? Why the other major temples in South India are not there? Why the Puri temple is not
Okay,
Why
three
the
questions.
Taj Mahal is not there?
Okay,
Why
fair enough.
The tomb is not there.
Okay. You got a long opening, Atikur Rahman. Let me take this to Ratan Sharda before I, broaden this conversation and go to the United States guests. Ratan Sharda, Atikur Rahman says that minorities were killed as part of the Ram Temple movement, and that's why Ram Temple reminds them of anti-minoritism. Also, he says it's not constitutional. What Ram Temple has to do with the constitution of the country? And then he asks, why Ram Temple alone and not temples from South India or other places of worship of other religions? Now, I believe in the India Day parade, places of worship of other religions have been showcased as floats in earlier editions. This is the first time India Day parade is happening after the inauguration of Pran Pratishtha of the Ram Temple, and that's why the Ram Temple. But the first two questions, it is anti-minorities and it is unconstitutional. Ratan Sharda, according to Atikur Rahman.
I feel so sorry for Atikur Rahman that he keeps on drumming that beating the drums which are totally outdated, proven wrong, false. So it is very unfair for him to keep on calling Hindus bigots and bigots and whatnot. He has said many charges of bigotry. How is it bigotry for Hindus to struggle for 500 years to take back what was rightly there through history, through every graphic details and evidence? Why? How can she call it? Because he can call it bigotry. Hindus struggled all these years, did not turn violent, and the day Babri came down, there was not a single mosque touched in entire Ayodhya. No Muslim was touched in entire Ayodhya. And who started this communal violence? I don't know to tell. So let us not get into that. When Hindus demand their rights, they become bigots. When your Waqf board starts taking land left and right, even land that was before Islam was born, you said that this is their birthright. I don't understand. And for this democratic process, he is also insulting the democratic process of Indian legal system, High Court, Supreme Court, all the scientific evidence. He's insulting everybody. He can get away with it because we don't turn violent like the bigots on the street do that. And now coming to the larger question, why has Arun denied his visa? Because although he was a sculptor, why is denied visa? Can anybody explain from your side? It is Hinduphobia. Secondly, it is not first time. Hindu community has been demonized and wrongly presented in USA continuously for years. Here is a person from Hindu Action Group. He will tell you how it has been represented, how it has been demonized, and where the Hindu child feels, why am I Hindu? And he's afraid to go to school because he's been so demonized that he feels afraid to talk to people. Is this the kind of Hindu train that should be there? And has any Muslim or US talked about Hagia Sophia? It's church converted to museum and again converted to mosque by the government fiat. Did we create the Ram Temple with government fiat? No, we went through entire legal process. We did everything possible to go through legal process. If we had been somebody like Turkey, like Hagia Sophia, would have simply declared by flatly the Ram Mandir. We did not do that. So that law-abiding person, a scientific community, is being insulted.
No, this was not inclusive. This was not inclusive of everything
and creating
that
a backstop. Don't interfere.
That is the problem.
Don't pop in between.
Not understanding.
So this entire theory that you will not speak on Hagia Sophia, you will not speak on Islamic terror attacks across the world, you will call Hindus bigots. That is a tragedy. And you will call Hindus as some kind of privileged class who have worked for generations.
Nobody has said anything bad about the Hindus
in US society.
To the best of my
That is
knowledge.
the
No, Vivek Srivastava.
People jokers here.
Vivek
who will
Srivastava.
call Hindu community as some kind of
No, there is a
think
clear
I
case of Hinduphobia, Vivek
Gone
Srivastava.
by the evidence.
Okay, Ratan Sharda, let me give an example of how it is Hinduphobic. Okay, let me give you an example of how this is Hinduphobic. Before I go to Utsav to understand what these organizations are, Vivek Srivastava, since you butted in, you see, the letter written by these organizations collectively says that the temple built over a mosque is a symbol of Muslim hate and hence it is anti-Muslim. The mosque was built on what?
And
where
what
did
was
the
this
mosque come
before
from,
mosque?
Vivek Srivastava?
What was this before mosque?
Mr.
You
If
don't believe
the
that
temple built on built on a place, built on a place which earlier had a mosque is anti-Muslim, then the mosque which came over a temple was not anti-Hindu?
No. I think you're misquoting the Supreme Court judgment. The Supreme Court judgment very clearly said, कोर्ट के विशेषाधिकार के हिसाब से इस मंदिर का कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑर्डर किया गया है. No, I mean, if you go and read the judgment, the entire pages, finally the court decided it is a matter of faith for this nation and the scientific evidence, and for the betterment of the nation, they took a decision. So let us not go into those details, because that even Supreme Court has not endorsed that there was.
I think the reason why you don't want to go into those details, Vivek Srivastava, is because those details are discomforting to you, because those details clearly mention that there was a temple which stood on the ruins of which the mosque was built.
40 seconds more. Before 2014, the Hindu community in this country and the Hindu religion was the one that was respected across the globe. It is after 2014 that Hindus are being labeled as extremists. We are being labeled as Islamophobic. We are being labeled as Muslim haters. We are being labeled as
and let's understand, we are being labeled as Islamophobic and Muslim haters by whom? And for that, I go to Utsav Chakrabarti in Washington, D.C. Vivek, hold on. Utsav Chakrabarti, what are these organizations? FIACONA, Federation of Indian American Christians, CARE International, and IAMC. Please tell us, what is this CAIR and what is this FIACONA? Please tell us what are the antecedents of these organizations, because they seem to be speaking exclusively for the Muslim community. They seem to be exclusively speaking for the Christians. They are not inclusive multi-faith organizations.
Exclusively for the Hindu community. Then you have no problem. When VHP speaks only for the Hindus.
Okay, fair enough. Hindu community, VHP speaks for Hindus. The Christian group can speak for Christian community. The Muslim group can speak for the Muslim groups and the Muslim and the Islamic faith. But then how come one can call the other Islamophobic or Christian phobic when the Hindu group is not calling anyone Hindu phobic? They are just carrying out a parade in New York, which they have been doing for the last 40 years. Okay, but let's understand what are these organizations. Let's understand what are these organizations. Utsav, please tell us what are these organizations.
Thank you. I hope nobody interrupts me when I speak, because I have waited patiently here to speak here. So please be careful and please maintain decorum. So, the question that needs to be answered here is, who are the organizations that wrote this letter? And that is the important part to understand, because let me tell you, these organizations do not represent the Indian American Christians, they do not represent the Indian American Muslims, and they do not represent any other majority of the minority communities that are being portrayed here. In fact, these organizations, especially the Council for American Islamic Relations, has a long record of being extremist, violent, and has been occasionally called out for it. So give you an example, CAIR, which is Council for American Islamic Relations, is a banned organization in UAE. UAE is an Islamic country in the middle of the Middle East. And they have banned CAIR for its association with Al-Qaeda and Al-Qaeda linked groups.
Okay.
The American White House, let me go on and talk about this. The White House has removed.
Links with Al-Qaeda.
Can I just make my point?
Please do.
Have some decency, sir. I never spoke when you spoke. You went on and on. Can you just let me finish? And have some decency.
Go ahead,
it reflects back on your ideas and what you represent. So CARE has also been proscribed and openly called out for its anti-Semitism. In fact, the White House removed its names from White House press releases on multi-faith organizations and denounced CARE's executive director for openly calling on for the destruction of Israel and killing of Jews. So this is a Middle Eastern Muslim Brotherhood linked organization that has a long history of anti-Hindu hate, anti-Jewish hate, and anti-Christian hate. And that is the organization that is leading this letter writing effort. Now let me talk about Indian American Muslim Council and FIACONA. If you want to understand these
I'll come to you, Atikur Rahman. I'll come to you. Utsav, complete.
Sir, let me finish. I'm talking facts here. Please go and verify it. And don't interrupt me. I never spoke when you were speaking. So let's go to IAMC and FIACONA. If you want to understand where these organizations' loyalties lie and who they represent, let me tell you, they don't represent Indian American Muslims or Indian American Christians. In fact, if you see their record on the removal of Article 370 and the campaign they run, they openly align with pro-Pakistan and pro-Hizbul Mujahideen groups after the removal of Article 370 and openly campaigned with them against India. After CAA was implemented in India, another issue that has nothing to do with Indian Muslims or Indian Christians, both these organizations align with the campaign against CAA. In fact, they wrote letter after letter.
That is your
to the
opinion
State
about
Department.
CAA. We feel differently. We feel CAA is the wrong bill. That is your opinion. I'm sitting here in India and I think
let me
CAA is
finish.
very uncomfortable.
Sir, you
Vivek
are-
Srivastava, and isn't Utsav entitled to his opinion? For God's sake, let him complete. I'll come to you.
Utsav is just talking in
Sir,
a very
I am
biased
just
way.
presenting facts
Anybody
here.
who
You will
supports
get to
Muslim
counter him. Let him complete. Utsav, carry on.
Muslim group, yeah, I mean,
Sir,
this is
I
not
don't
biased
know
what he's
which
saying.
ideological group you represent, but if the Indian audience is listening to this, they need to understand that you don't represent them properly, because you are actually quite a rude person. So I'm sorry, but please let somebody finish their point. And I'm not making.
Utsav, quickly, I have to go to Joseph also.
Okay. So my point here is that this whole issue is a nothing issue, because it's a small group of vested interests that are running this campaign. This doesn't represent the Indian American community's opinion, including those who come from the minority community.
Okay.
And this has a long-standing record of anti-India and anti-Hindu hate from these organizations. So this is something that you all need to understand.
Okay, you made your point, Joseph Chalil. In which case, if there is an organization which is actually banned by the UAE, if there is an organization which has been investigated in the 9/11 case of terrorism, if there is an organization which is proscribed by the White House for its anti-Semitic stance, and if there is an organization which is effectively acting like an ISI proxy in the United States against India, Joseph Chalil, why should the American establishment be listening to these people at all?
Thank you for having me, Abhishek. I have a great different perspective among this, because for the past decade or more, I have been participating in this parade for the past every year. In fact, I was supposed to be at the parade today. And my media organization, UNN News, is an official media partner for this event. And you can see that, many fringe elements, the French Association can call for banning the Ram Lalla float, but they haven't accepted that, and then the float is happening as we speak. The parade is beginning as we speak, so there's no value to it. So I think what we should look into, this is not an India government-sponsored parade. This is done by multiple non-profit organizations of Indian Americans. We always had the Brahmakumaris, the temple groups, the church groups always had their floats. This is religious inclusion, not excluding anybody. That's what New York is all about. That's what America is all about: religious freedom and tolerance, not excluding, not hate speech. So this is an inclusive parade. This is going to be successful. Unfortunately, the Democratic Party is hijacked by some of these fringe elements, which you should look into the funding of these groups. You will see a common element in some of those, George Soros sort of led, whether it is Black Lives Matters movement or the CARE.
What's there to laugh about Vivek Srivastava? I think he's making a valid point. There is a clear case of lobby. There is a clear case of connections between these organizations and anti-India forces. Vivek Srivastava, you are laughing it off.
I have to laugh it off. There was one gentleman who was saying that anything that is anti-Israel, and if a group speaks against Israel and supports Palestine, then that means that that's a fringe element. पूरी भारत सरकार फ्रिंज एलिमेंट है. The entire government of India support the stand of Palestine.
अच्छा, एक बात बताइए विवेक श्रीवास्तव, एक बात बताइए विवेक श्रीवास्तव, as a Muslim organization, IAMC for example calls itself Indian American Muslim Council. CAIR calls itself America's largest Muslim civil rights. They are not calling human rights, they are saying Muslim civil rights. Muslim civil rights organization to enhance understanding of Islam and empower American Muslims. I am 100% discounting what Utsav told us about CAIR. I am saying let's take it at face value what they describe themselves to be. Organization to enhance understanding of Islam and empower American Muslims. Okay, fine, no problem. Absolutely. I have no problem, you have no problem. Now if Vishwa Hindu Parishad in the United States says that they stand for increasing awareness about Hinduism in the US, and for that they are bringing in a Ram temple float, why are you under so much pain, Vivek Srivastava?
Because you are doing it on the Independence Day of my country. and my country is secular. We are not a Hindu Rashtra, and the Vishwa Hindu Parishad and the RSS has no business.
Ratan Sharda, you get to rebut Vivek Srivastava. Vivek Srivastava says you can't have Ram Temple because India is a secular country, while Pakistan can have whatever it wants to have, including terror organizations, because it is an Islamic republic.
Mr. Kim Jong of Indian politics will say whatever he wants to. Ram Lala is a matter of faith for all the Hindus, all the Indians. Everybody enjoyed it. Everybody goes there. Now, Vivek's pain is that a Christian is supporting Hindus in the Indian National Parade. Sitting here in India, he's afraid, he's so much under pain. And I'll tell you what is the pain of leftists. It is for the first time that the ancient civilizations of the world, one civilization has been able to take back its place of worship and rebuild it. That is their pain, because all ancient civilization has been demolished by so-called imperialists from communists, everybody. Right? China, he will not open his mouth.
Our Hindu minorities were attacked in Bangladesh, and after 2014...
Okay, unfortunately, I have run out of time. Vivek Srivastava, you can't obstruct and believe that you would carry your voice by this obstructionism. The fact of the matter is that there is a clear case, Ratan Sharda, there is a clear case of an anti-India lobby dovetailing into an anti-Hindu force and carrying out this propaganda. These are people who have sought sanctions against India for abrogation of Article 370. Remember, Article 370 mainstreamed and integrated Jammu and Kashmir forever constitutionally, and for these people to be acting as the handmaiden of Pakistani deep state and then to believe that they would be taken at their face value. I believe the Washington DC establishment should call their bluff, not interfere with the India Day parade. On that note, thank you so much, Utsav and Joseph, for joining us from the US, and of course, Atikur Rahman, Vivek Srivastava and Ratan Sharda from India. And we could pack in only this much in this hour of a Sunday debate. Short break, live and breaking on the other side. And of course, Arnab Goswami is back with the debate tomorrow 8 p.m.